Thank you for the presentation, really clearly presented, and lots of plans there as well, so it was easy to understand how it was going to be organised. At that ground level, and I suppose in this image here, what's all of that volume of space for? What's it doing? You know, why is it there?
You mean the entry?
Yeah, sorry, at the entry, So this 3-storey high volume, why? I understand buildings have those kind of spaces, but I'm wondering why is it important for this type of
it's
building?
to make the entry obvious, and while it creates sort of like a social space,
Does it create a social space?
that linked to the activity like the Paddington Market.
Yeah, those spaces you often see at the base of very tall buildings because they act as a big foyer, a big entry into, for hundreds of businesses potentially that are sitting above. But it's rather grand, that's all. And I'm thinking of the costing scenarios of these buildings, whether or not they can afford to provide a space like that. You obviously think they can and that they should. Is that right? Yeah. How is it socialising? How is that a socialising space?
So so for now, regular day they will have some sitting areas. Then maybe for weekends the market will blend into this.
How does the architecture make it though?
It depends on how he opens it up, doesn't it? Well, I mean, it's a good question, and you can see why the sense of that space inside and the park sort of work together in a way, providing all the wall systems can open up and the market spills into the base of the building, perhaps. So it's got a lot to do with how you actually treat that glass wall. If you treat it like you've treated it, like with sheets of glass and framework that can't open, then it'll always just be a glass box and no direct connection to the park. And whereas if you treated that glass wall in a really creative way, so that in summer it can open right up and breathe and all those sorts of things, then it could be a good thing. Who knows how it will equate economically with the added impetus of the fair and more. But I can see spatially why you've done it. I can't see spatially why you've closed it off with that glass wall the way you've done it. There's other ways of doing it, either great big service station doors or louvers that can all open up, and all the areas on the bottom where people can move in and out can just do it without obstruction. It would change the nature of the building incredibly, I think.
Yes, actually, original the ground front door is actually a fully open operated.
Yeah,
it's not actually just by the change at the end because of.
But look, I would argue that a building like this, the most expensive real estate they own is all of that space that you have glass. Because people are walking by, and it's very easy for someone to just walk by and buy or use or occupy something. But as soon as you make it glass and nothingness, then it erodes all of that potential. It works in a high-rise building because it's not really about that space, although they try and use it. It's really about all that space. But in a building like this, it's quite luxurious, in Paddington, to give up that space. And the socialising argument, that's at Rick's point, but it's also, this is about well-being, isn't it? So you would think that it's about how many people should gather for well-being, and what should they be doing, and should there be places to eat lunch and to sit down or watch something, or I don't know, buy a particular kind of milkshake or something. But it often creates quite a much finer grain than the one that you're actually showing. That's all.
Could you see that? Could you show us the ground plan, please, of the street level? The image that you show of the building on the corner that we were looking at shows the wall at the back of this wall is solid, and also the next wall is solid from where you're going down, I think presumably to a car park or the lower level. That wall on the plan is shown as having no windows, and the next one is shown as, it's difficult to see, that probably does have windows. But so your perspectives from the street doesn't really match with the plan. You can see the auditorium?
Yeah.
No, it's the perspective actually takes me from this corner, so it's looking up. And the auditorium is actually
I
to
thought
the
we
left
were
side.
looking from this side. You mean?
Yeah,
I see.
looking from actually this side.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're looking that way.
Yeah.
It's looking from here to the
Yes, but what about the next one? Like next to that?
which one?
Keep going there, that wall there,
This way.
from there down to the, no, in that, along the street.
Yes, this is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one. It
Yes,
is
that's solid, right?
Yeah.
But on the perspective, is it shown as solid?
Yeah. It
Where-
is solid
where-
wall.
You don't actually see it though, it's hidden, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
it's
no.
hidden. That wall is actually. So
Where's the
you
perspective taken from?
taken from here.
Is
So
it-
you're looking at here.
Would you mind going back to the perspective, because I think I'm going mad.
No, let it be separate.
Sorry, I'm saying it myself.
It's not true.
So where is the back of the lecture theatre?
Yeah.
No, the lecture theatre's on that
The other
side.
side.
Yeah, because this image being.
He's reversed, he's mirror imaged it.
Yes,
Yeah, it has mirror image.
this image has been accidental.
You're not mad, you are absolutely correct.
Yes, I'm not thinking.
This has been accidentally put
Because
in.
if we go, well, that's cleared that up. So it's mirror image.
Yeah.
Let's go back to a total degree.
That's what you're up against, people.
Go back, so to the floor plan. Because I'm fascinated with ground plan. Is that the ground? That's the first
Oh,
floor.
sorry.
I know you don't want me to see it, but what is that little door in that solid wall that's going into the back of the theatre?
That actually was the back access door for
But
the
you can't
theatre.
just go straight off like that, can you?
Straight off.
Straight off the public realm without some more to do. Can you
Yes.
do that? Pouring with rain outside, you open the door and bang, you're in it.
Oh, you mean that little tiny,
Yeah,
little tiny
yeah,
piece
yeah.
of service? What's going on in that room?
Yeah, well, so that's why I'm just curious to know what's happening at ground level, because I think I mean, it's an interesting program, isn't it, that you've taken on? But it seems to be that each level is planned independently of one another. Is that right? No? Okay. All right, I was just trying to follow the circulation. Beg your pardon? Yeah.
Peter?
Can you go to your sketch plan, that little round circle drawing? In that drawing, you've got two gardens,
So actually the garden actually becomes.
which I thought was a really important thing in a building like this. This is a healing building. It's a health healing building. I mean, obviously the gardens aren't really there, they're courtyards or whatever, so they've been lost. But I think that goes for me to the heart of the issue here, which is we've all chosen different projects for different reasons, and this is a building with massage and yoga and health and healing and all that sort of thing. And I think most of us would accept that is best done, first of all, as a sanitised environment for cuts and abrasions, but then there's a healing environment for mental and emotional health. And I think garden is a great part of that. You know, garden, sky or water or, natural elements. I'm a little bit, if you hadn't explained that building, I'd seen it, I would have said office block or, commercial offices or something like that. I certainly would have said a building. Yeah, advertising that. I certainly would have said a building for healing. So I think there's a whole typology issue that's going on. I think there's also, if I look at your model, and I don't want to be disrespectful at all, but it's not made very well. It's sort of a little bit here and a little bit there, and it's pushed here and it's pushed there. It sort of says to me you're not really sure about what you're making. And making is part of architecture, a very important part of architecture. And I could be wrong, but if you look at this side over here, the floor level changes, on one level changes position 4 times, 3 or 4 times. And so what you've done is you've made one plate and then you put another one in.
Does that actually happen? Sorry, does that actually happen?
Yes, that's actually happened. So another concept is actually
But
terrace.
it only goes up this far.
Yes.
So what's the reason for that?
So that's just respond to the terrace. So to respond to the local environment, it's like the whole site is actually terrace. So it's just a terrace. So the whole circulation is linked by the ramp. So it just keeps going up and up and up. So there is actually there is a change of level between the stairs, but the central circulation is actually a ramp. So each room is actually there's a slight change between the room.
So if I'm in a lift, where's the lift?
The lift is in here, the central hall.
So if I get out of the lift,
There's a platform, but the platform is linked by a ramp. So there will be ramp going down and there going up.
And you can show that in plan. Quickly show that in plan.
and what slope is the ramp at?
Most of the ramp is 1 to 12. Some of them is
Doesn't it have to be 1 to 14 for this open?
Yeah, 1 in 14.
yes.
But just explain what that ramp is, because Peter's making that
So the ramp.
very valid point.
So there's a ramp going up and the platform, ramp going up, ramp going up.
Yeah. So you're moving a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, you're moving around, so the staircase process is actually just along the central circulation.
So how long is each ramp? Roughly, just quickly out of the top of your head, how long? 10 metres?
Looks at
14 metres?
It's around 40 meters.
Okay, so you're going up a metre at a time. I don't.
You mean you go up? Actually, the change of height is just 500 millimeter.
500 millimetre, and how many ramps have you got to go up? What's that, 4 metres? Anyway, I think if we investigate it, we're behind.
So this area and this area is different by 500 millimeters. So the change of height is 500, and the change of height to here is another 500. So it's 500, 500, 500.
So how many change of heights do you get between floor levels? What's the difference between one floor to another?
There's actually not exactly a one floor and another floor. Everything is actually just
Outside.
soft lines. Yes.
Between the lift platforms, what is the floor height? From one lift platform to the next lift platform.
It's set to be 5,000.
So 5 meters
Yes.
So you've got 10 changes of level.
in 5 meters.
10 changes of level between floors. If it's every 500. But there's not 10 changes of level. Anyway.
Accounting.
It would have been really good to have a diagram of that.
Yes, I know, because I round type.
Saying that very much very well either.
Now, if I guess if we look at it and find it confusing, it's going to be quite confusing and very expensive, and I'm not sure that the sun is getting in there and heating everything up, or if it is, it'll be overheating. And where's your ventilation? Is the ventilation there?
There will be a central ventilation through a wall system.
Through what?
Through the wall system. There will be because there's a basement, so there will be an intake to the basement and ventilate through all the buildings.
And Andrew, you
Yeah, well, so thank you for your presentation. I know you find it fairly nerve-wracking to present in front of the crowd. I mean, I was inside the sea models, we haven't seen one yet, so I'm glad you have pursued it. I'm sure there was many moments of discovery through making that model of the plans. But yeah, I think in the end, probably bit off a bit more than you could chew. I mean, so it's quickly you persevered with it. I think you've got a great drawing skill, your skeletal drawings, and something the answers within your drawing, not getting too lost in the CAD system and working out big complex programming. So we try to talk a lot through tutorials, but just always print that stuff out and draw it, turn it back into a drawing, and then once you're happy with the drawing, you can feed it back into the machine. Maybe as a kind of a tip to stop yourself being overwhelmed within the system. Yeah, I mean, got a lovely demeanour. I know it can sometimes feel a bit kind of nerve-wracking, so probably, office choice. You were speaking about sitting around and maybe kind of working in Sydney. Just have a good, maybe we can have an email conversation after uni's all said and done. I'll probably recommend some places that would kind of nurture what you might want to continue to learn through an office environment after you're sticking around the country.
Thank you.
Okay.
thank him.